Hello, hello. Welcome to Kinship. My name is Jessica Amos. I'm a mindfulness teacher and coach, and I'm the founder of Stay With Yourself, which is the practice of being who you are, where you are, honoring yourself in each moment. And I believe that's exactly what we're here to do today. So, welcome to those of you who are new here. We are so happy to have you, and welcome back to those of you who are returning. Today, I want to talk to you about a little misconception that many of us have around mindfulness and meditation. Meditation, more specifically, or even going deeper into that, the ideas around that we're fed a lot of time in the wellness world. We're told to meditate, we're told to be mindful, we're told to quiet the mind. And I've been doing this work for 13, 14 years. I've been teaching mindfulness and meditation. And the number one thing that I hear from people is I am terrible at meditating and I cannot get my mind to be quiet. I cannot get my mind under control. It's absolutely overwhelming. I hate it. It's frustrating. Or like I sit down to meditate and I fall asleep, or I sit down to meditate and I get anxious, or I sit down to meditate and my mind goes crazy, or I can't be alone with myself. I don't like being alone with myself. I don't like being alone with my thoughts and my feelings and my emotions. It is so overwhelming. And then on top of it, we're told like this is good for us, right? But on top of that, like we try to do it and then we feel like we're failing at it because we feel anxious, our mind is going crazy, we fall asleep, we can't hold still. Like there's all these extra things that get piled on top of this thing that we're told is good for us, which is to be still and to spend time with ourselves. So I just want to talk about this and maybe send you off into your group today to have a broader discussion about how we can expand our thinking and our ideas around what it means to stay with ourselves, to stay with yourself, to be still with yourself, to show up for yourself, to hold space for yourself, to give yourself space to breathe and think and unfold without additional stimulation. And I think that's the place that I like to approach this and it's not even necessarily a question that people come to me with. It's more just a statement of like, I'm so bad at that and it's really really hard. And I just want to say yes. I get it. That's part of what brought me to meditation and mindfulness to begin with. Is as a chronically anxious person, I have had chronic anxiety my entire life. Well, as far back as I can remember, I've had chronic anxiety, panic attacks, ruminating, looping thoughts, lots of like terror and fear built into my nervous system based on things I experienced when I was younger, and also just living this human experience. So, what I have found is what meditation and mindfulness and really sitting in stillness with myself is, it's not so much that like I'm empty, it's more that I'm full of space. I'm creating a spaciousness for myself to just sit, to let down, and then to let the thoughts clear. So a lot of times when I sit down in meditation, I sit down to meditate because I just need to think for a minute. Like it's not because I'm trying to clear my thoughts or clear my mind or have an empty mind. It's just that in our world today, we have so many demands, so many things stimulating us, so much noise, so much information, so much activity, so much rushing, so much busyness that at a certain point, like our brains and our bodies just lock up and we can't take in anything else. And then what's in there kind of gets stuck and it's rolling around in there, just like with no with no escape hatch, right? So for me to sit down and to be in stillness with myself is allowing myself to kind of open that open the hatch, so to speak, and to let everything that's happening within me complete its cycle, to like see it all through without bringing in more stimulation to like bog it down and to make it messier. So I don't know if that is helpful for you. I hope that it is. It's not so much that you're trying to empty yourself out. You're just I mean, you kind of are trying to empty yourself, but you're trying to create some spaciousness within yourself so it's not so overwhelming and chaotic inside, and without bringing in more stimulation. So I often suggest to people, and I've had people in some of my courses and classes, especially my course Sacred Habits, where we're practicing like doing simple, ordinary habits. One of my students was just like, one of her habits was actually to no longer listen to podcasts, but she would listen in the shower, she'd listen in the car, and she stopped listening to podcasts, and she found that she felt more calm, she felt more peaceful because she wasn't constantly bringing in more information. So, you got to find and explore what works good for you. But I know for me, sitting in stillness with myself also allows me to understand and see the patterns within my brain, to see how, the dips and falls, the heights, the highs and the lows, the circular thoughts. I'm now observing myself. And maybe you've heard this before about meditation and mindfulness. A lot of it is to sit in observation. You're now sitting and you're observing the thoughts go by. You're getting to see like how many thoughts repeat and what specific thought repeats over and over again. And you get to start to notice your own patterning. And when we start to notice our own patterning, this is where it gets really exciting, you guys. When you start to really notice your own patterning, you can begin to change the whole pattern of your brain and your internal world and the way that it operates, so that you can operate from a space of more spaciousness. You're not so reactive. You're not so impulsive. You don't feel like you're being driven by the anxiety or whatever it is that's happening inside of you. You actually, oh, that's a pattern. And you can begin to do pattern interrupts and begin to reroute your neurological pathways and the ways that these patterns are happening inside of you. But that is why sitting in stillness, creating time for yourself. So whether it's journaling, listening to a guided meditation, sitting, like just laying in the bath for a little while, taking an extra long shower, going for a drive with no music on or no sound. Some of it is just giving yourself time to go on a walk, to go on a drive, to take a shower, whatever it is, without extra noise. That might be all that you need. Not so much to even sit in meditation, but to just have things be silent around you as you go about your tasks, right? So I want you to explore this today, what this could look like for you. What if you started clearing internal space and you started being an observer of your mental and emotional patterns, so that you weren't so hooked by them and felt so impulsive in your reaction to what's happening inside? Okay. Such a great topic. I could talk on this forever. So I look forward to hearing your feedback. If you have questions or anything that comes up for you during this session. Thank you to our facilitator for holding the space for us. And thank you to all of you for showing up here today and being open to staying with yourself and one another. Until next time, may you stay with yourself today and always. Bye.